Do you sometimes find yourself wondering why Killua uses the power outlet or the stun gun to charge? How about the kind of effects that it has? Today, we're going to unravel that. Hello everyone, and welcome to Hunter x Hunter Institute, the channel that will satisfy all of your cravings for everything Hunter x Hunter related. Theories? Speculations? Character analysis? We got it all covered here. Fellow Hunter x Hunter fans, I'd like you to tell me something. Are you also one of the many who think that Killua, being born naturally talented, is just like the main character of the series? I'm sure I'm not the only one thinking this. Well, he is one of the main characters together with Gon, Kurapika, and Leorio. Did you also find that scene when he got released from Illumi's binding spell so impressive it got you goosebumps? I sure did. Our highlight for today's video is, you guessed it, none other than Killua Zoldyck. He's one of the sons of the Zoldyck family, the strongest and most elite family of assassins. In this video, let's have a deep character analysis of Killua. So Hunter x Hunter fans and Killua lovers, grab your favorite sweets and let's enjoy this video till the end. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button if you're one of the Killua fans watching this video. If you'd like to see Killua appear again in the series, drop us a comment down below. We'd love to hear from our dear viewers. And with that, what are we waiting for? Let's start. 1. Who is Killua Zoldyck? We all know that he's one of the main characters of the series. Since the first volume, he's been in this adventure together with Gon. To say that he's the second main character of Hunter x Hunter wouldn't be an exaggeration. He's also probably the most popular and most loved character in the series. He does always win the first rank for the Hunter x Hunter character popularity poll. Raise your hands if you're one of the fellow fans who agree with that. Better yet, send him some hearts via the comments. As a member of the Zoldyck family, he and his abilities are acknowledged by the whole family. Even his grandfather Zeno admitted it's because he's special. Zeno grandpa, we think he's special too. His eldest brother Illumi loves him so much it's abnormal, and sometimes freaky. Illumi even resorted to brainwashing Killua. By implanting a needle inside Killua's head, Illumi tried to keep him under his control. Ever since Killua met Gon, he has changed a lot. If you compare the Killua from the first volume to the Killua we see in the Chimera Ant arc, he's very different, right? During their battle with the Chimera Ants, Killua succeeded in removing the needle that Illumi put in his head. He's not the elite family's assassin anymore. Killua, at that point, has become a professional hunter, and more importantly, a friend. Killua's strength is exceptionally great, but he's also quite smart. Throughout their adventures together, Killua had helped Gon a lot when it came to mentally challenging tasks. He's quite good at turning complicated explanations into simpler terms so that Gon was able to understand it. During that time he was working with Melody to help Kurapika, she commented at how quiet his footsteps were. They were so quiet that it was probably the quietest ones she had ever heard in her life. Melody guessed that he was an assassin based on the sounds of his footsteps. Killua replied that, moving quietly has become a habit. Even though he is from a family of assassins, Killua has a mischievous and playful side. Like how 4 years ago before he met Gon, he won 200 million yen, around $1.5 million, from competing in the Heavens Arena. Winning up to that level at such a young age is an amazing feat itself. But how he used all that money just to buy sweets? I'm sure you also thought, unbelievable, just like Gon and Zushi. Do you remember other parts where he was just being mischievous? You know, like that scene where he slams a cake on Gon's face? Or when he was giving Kurapika a tip on how to handle Biscuit and being insistent on how gross it was. Share with us in the comments your favorite scenes of Killua being mischievous. Strong, cute, cool, an assassin from an elite family. It's quite easy to see why Killua is such a popular character. 2. Killua's Nen abilities. He's a transmuter, and he uses his abilities to change his aura into electricity in order to fight. He is quite excellent at using his Ren to the point that even the single-star jackpot hunter Sesgera was impressed by it. He had such a surprised expression when he saw Killua's talent. During the Greed Island arc, he, Gon, and Biscuit had a battle with Genthru's group. Killua had a one-on-one battle with Sabu, and during their fight, we get to see Killua testing out his Nen ability, Lightning Palm. With this ability, he can release electricity from his hands and electrocute the target by touching them with both palms. It's quite similar to being attacked with a stun gun. Now let's see some of the abilities Killua used in their battles against the Chimera Ant arc. When they were facing Yuppie, one of Meruem's royal guards, Killua successfully saved Knuckle by using his Thunderbolt. Knuckle would have been in deep trouble if Killua didn't attack on time. Among all his techniques, he has a specialty technique where he controls the flow of electricity in his body and allows him to go beyond the limits of his potential. With this, his speed is greatly enhanced. He calls this the Godspeed, and he used this during the battle to overpower Youpi. Godspeed is actually composed of two nen abilities. First is Speed of Lightning. With this, Killua can manipulate his own body to move according to his own will. The second one is Whirlwind. Different from the first one, the ability allows Killua to have his body automatically move based on the movements of the opponent. It allows him to deflect and dodge the opponent's attack by instinct. When Killua used this against Youpi, Youpi was overwhelmed by it to the point that he said, "What the heck is this?" In terms of overall strength, that guy and those guys are definitely weaker than 10th of my power. But still, I don't understand. I can't do anything. At this point, Killua ran out of energy and proceeded to withdraw, all according to Malaeron's perfect plan. Even though it was only for a short moment, Killua's ability intimidated Youpi so much that it made him unable to do anything against it. Aside from his nen abilities, Killua also had some special techniques. We get to see one of these during the Hunter exam arc. When he and Gon were playing ball with Netero, Killua used Rhythm Echo. This is an assassination technique wherein he moves in a way that creates multiple after images of his body. With this, he's able to confuse his enemy. Another one that he got from his training as an assassin is a stealth technique called Silent Gates. This is a more basic version of Rhythm Echo, and when he uses this, he can walk and run without making any sound. It seems like he uses this technique so much that it already became natural for him to move silently. With such an advanced technique, Netero couldn't help but say, "For you to learn Rhythm Echo at this age, you're a frightening child." 3. Why Killua recharges. In order to pass the selection of who can play Greed Island, Killua did some training to convert his aura into electricity. After his training, he was able to acquire a special move that convinced Sesgera that he was skilled enough to get into Greed Island. By using his own experience and his abilities as a transmuter, Killua transformed his aura into electricity and created his own special move. Have you ever wondered why Killua uses a stun gun to charge before he can generate electricity? Also, what kind of effects does the charging have on Killua? Let's speculate all these from here. Let's start by looking at the Nen type distribution chart. Killua being a transmuter, he's able to change his aura to match the nature of another thing. If you look at Killua's ability, we can say that it's the same as turning his own Nen's aura to match the nature of electricity. In other words, if the maximum amount of Killua's aura is 100 units, then he can convert that 100 units into electricity. In order to convert that 100 unit of aura, Killua needs to have direct contact with electricity, and he can do this by using a stun gun or a power outlet. Let's do an example. If 20 out of 100 units of aura are converted to electricity using a stun gun, then Killua will have a remaining 80 units of aura while he gets 20 units of electricity. When Killua finished using all these 20 units of electricity, then he would need to have another direct contact with a stun gun or a power outlet to convert the remaining aura. Killua calls this process of converting his normal aura to electricity as charging. To put it simple, charging doesn't mean that Killua's amount of aura reverts back to 100 units when he undergoes this process. It simply means that he is charging his aura to convert the rest of it into electricity. As described in the Nen type distribution chart, changing his aura to match the nature of another thing. When Killua uses up all of his aura, even if he touches any source of electricity, it would be meaningless because there's no more aura left to turn into electricity. 0 units of aura means 0 units of electricity. Despite the claims that Killua's abilities are overpowered, it's not true. Charging doesn't mean that he would be able to recharge his aura in an instant, nor recover all the aura that he had already used. Let's take a look at the Chimera Ant arc. If Killua's normal aura is 50 units before his battle with Youpi, then the converted electricity would also be 50 units. Killua repeatedly used his Thunderbolt and Whirlwind to attack Youpi, to which he says, "This is bad. I've already used everything." This means that his converted electricity has already reached 0 units. If he wanted to have more electricity to use for his attacks, then it would mean that he would need to convert the remaining aura that he has. While he was touching the power supply, he said to Malaeron, "After I'm done charging, I'll go back to Gon. You go back to Knuckles." Let's say that during this part, he converted his normal aura into 40 units of electricity. During his battle with Poof, he used Whirlwind, which means that he lost 20 units of electricity. He then uses Speed of Lightning to head to Pitu, which was worth 15 units of electricity. When he finally reaches Gon, Killua is left with 10 units of normal aura and 5 units of electricity. While the numbers given here are just examples we use to explain Killua's abilities, we saw that Killua was already covered in wounds when he arrived to where Pitu was. Even though Killua is naturally talented and had grown up being tortured with electricity by his own family, having to directly expose himself to things like a stun gun or power supply to convert his aura into electricity must still put some toll on his body. I wouldn't think that's a very easy task to do. If anything, this just shows us Killua's ability to tolerate pain. Summary time. Killua directly touches a stun gun or a power source in order to convert his aura into electricity. If we looked at the 4 major principles of Nen, we can say that Killua has been using 10 so that he can store the converted electricity in his body. With this, he's able to start using electric techniques like the Thunderbolt. Sasuke said to Killua, to turn your aura into electricity, it's going to take several years for someone just to get used to being exposed to electricity, and it would be torturous. For you to do this with just this amount of aura, what the heck are you? He definitely didn't expect that. Biscuit also commented about it. At such a young age, it's terrifying to see that he can change his aura into electricity. But more than that, it's sad. His daily life must have been hell. For him to be able to smile like that now, it's a miracle. She said this after seeing his ability in Greed Island. In order to convert aura to electricity, it requires a technique that can only be gained by undergoing a hellish experience and having incredible natural talent. Killua has both of these. He underwent a torturous childhood as a member of the elite Zoldyck family, and he was born with natural talent. From here on, I'm sure that Killua will be continuing his training. If the amount of his Nen aura increases, then he can convert more of it into electricity. The more electricity he can use, the stronger his abilities become. Looking into the future, don't you think he has what it takes to become one of the strongest Nen users? He'll probably be strong enough to be on par with Chrollo or Hisoka, if not stronger. It was difficult to summarize in a few words such an awesome character as Killua, but here we are, almost at the end of the video. With how amazing Killua is, I'm sure we can talk and talk for hours about him, but so we can give way to other characters, we're going to end our discussion here for now. Fellow fans, do you think Killua's Nen abilities are strong? We'd love to hear what you think about Killua and his awesomeness down in the comments. Let's fan over him together in the comment section. If you're like Killua and can't wait to see him appear in the series again, then you're definitely a part of the Hunter x Hunter Institute. High five, fellow Killua fan. From here onwards, we're going to create more fun videos about Hunter x Hunter and share them to fans all over the world. So if you want to see more videos from us, more videos of Killua perhaps, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. That's all for today, fellow fans. Farewell, and see you on our next video.